everybody. Welcome to Fractured Focus, episode number 8. Actually, take 2. We had some AV difficulties, but this is episode 8 of Fractured Focus. I'm one of your hosts, Ben Gordon, alongside my brother, the illustrious Dan Gordon. Dan, how you doing?
I am exhausted, but I am ready to do this.
This time?
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, this time we're going to record it.
Probably for the best, because we had some weird random topics last time.
Things were said that could not be unsaid.
And you'll never know. And coming in live from the great state of Nebraska, the original Swino of Omaha himself, Matthew Swinehart. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Are you just
a lot better now?
Are you just as energized for take 2?
Probably more so. My mind was kind of on the Pittsburgh game and the weather outside.
Yeah.
So
yep, we're actually into it this time. So for those of you watching, if you notice something different about this episode, that it's even somewhat, what's the word? Good.
Coherent?
Yeah, coherent. There's a reason, because we're energized this time too. As you know, this is the show where we obsess about everything from geek culture to nerd news, along with random topics for discussion. So let's go ahead and jump right in without further ado. Topic.
I could do a little bit more ado.
A little more ado?
Just a little more ado.
You need some more ado?
All
right.
I don't know what you look like. I don't.
And there goes our 3 followers.
Yeah.
All right, first topic. Sherlock season 4 just ended. I love this series. Love Benedict Cumberbatch. Love Martin Freeman. Love the intellectualism, the brain porn, a lot of people call it, how it's just so, it really makes you think. Love this show. Season 4 just came out. The last episode aired on Sunday just a few short days ago, so now we can officially look back in season 4 and give our thoughts. Before I even go into mine, I'd like to hear from you guys. What did you think of season 4?
Good. It was, I probably wouldn't rate it as in my top 2, but it's still enjoyable. I mean, it's the only thing. My biggest problem with it is that it was just the last season, and that we're not going to be seeing anymore.
Not for sure. Even the showrunners have said no, they could do more.
It looked as though they were announcing that that was supposed to be the end of the series.
And the way it ended, it would be a good send off if it was. It definitely left that. It's as weird as it is to say, it left the door open for it to be the final episode. Yeah. What do you think, Matt?
My least favorite season all around. Like the 3 episodes to me weren't as strong as previous ones.
That seems to be the norm throughout the internet.
Yeah. Well, the thing to
So
consider,
there was just a tonal change.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
in the material that they were using, these weren't the most popular Sherlock stories that they were adapting. I mean, they still had a lot to pull on, but yeah, what they were pulling on was, some of the more obscure works that Doyle put together. So.
Yep. What were you saying?
I guess with me, it started off strong, got weak by the end of the first episode, and then the second and then the third just never lifted it back up.
Yeah, I kept hoping they were going to bring Mary back. I thought that was so tragic to kill her off so quickly in the first episode, but then I thought, they can't bring her back too. They bring everybody back. I mean, the way Sherlock came back, the woman isn't dead. I'm like, there's no way they could do it again. I think the audience would get sick of getting worried about anybody, because they know they'll probably just bring them back.
Yeah.
But they didn't. I agree with you guys. I didn't think it was bad. I love all Sherlock episodes, including this season. I think it's very thought-provoking. One of the main writer from the show, I forget his name, even actually kind of responded to a lot of the critics and a lot of the people out there, saying it was one of the big complaints was too complex, too much going on, especially towards that last episode where they were trying to figure out the call. Why is she doing all this stuff? What was the point of it? Tying all the pieces together. And some of the interviews that was done with him said, do you feel like ever it's too challenging, or maybe you need to tone that down? He said, absolutely not. That's one of the funnest parts of, doing this, is to challenge the audience. I agree with you guys. It was good. It just wasn't as good as the last 3. But I thought that at least the last 5 to 10 minutes of it would be a good send-off for the series. The way it kind of had Mary sum up their relationship, how they need each other, getting them back out there, the slow motion shot of them running out of the building together. I think it definitely humanized Sherlock a lot more in this season. Kind of brought him back to, being the caring person he is. I just like that last episode a lot, actually. Just the fact that you got this girl that makes Sherlock and Minecraft seem like idiots, because she's so, me and Dan were joking around, she's like the singularity. She's like the epitome of all thought process, but she has a hard time even garnishing any emotions, and the reason that she attaches herself to, especially Sherlock as they're going through her trials or whatever you want to call them, is because between Minecraft and Sherlock is the most down the line, that's actually closer to what they would call us normal people, and trying to understand how does he deal with it so she can at least learn from that, as opposed to being the only person alone on the plane, the metaphor she was using. I just thought that was cool, and it was a twist, and they changed it from being what it was in the books. It was the older brother, and the older brother's name was the name of the asylum that she was stuck in, so it was kind of a nod to that in the series apparently. But yeah, I agree with you guys. What would you guys say that your favorite shows were out of the entire series, if this is all we get?
Oh, it's got to be the essentially it was the last problem or the final? Yeah, the last problem.
The final problem.
The final problem. Sorry,
of season 4.
No, it's essentially it's the actual one where it's the Reisenbach fall.
Episode of season 4 was called the final problem.
It was. That's the name, but that was the actual name of it's that the name that they took from that. It was the one where Sherlock and Moriarty.
The final where he kills himself.
Yeah,
that one was awesome.
That's the story, but I think they changed it to the Reichenbach fall.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean that was the best. I mean, just the build up and just the story elements, and kind of seeing Sherlock just trying to address like an impossible problem.
Their take on Moriarty and the actor that played him, I can't imagine someone doing a better job than that, because they did such a different spin, and he kind of had that. I mean, the fact that having someone with Sherlock's intellect and deductive skills, but as a bad guy, but as a charismatic, badass bad guy that even talks about sex and having that song "Staying Alive," I think that's probably most people's favorite freaking episode. Yeah, it was hard to compare anything else to that one. But what would you say, Matt? Same one, or do you have a different one in mind?
Season 2 was my favorite.
Do you have a specific, or just do you like the whole season?
I like the whole season. I mean, because season 1 was kind of 2 independent things, and then the third one was the introduction of Moriarty.
Right.
And then season 2 had that involvement with Moriarty in it. And I enjoyed that. And I mean, even season 3, I enjoyed quite a bit more, I think, than season 4.
Yeah. Yeah, bringing Mary in, that whole arc. I liked how it wasn't like a three-legged or the third wheel kind of thing. I can't talk. The third wheel kind of thing with Mary, Watson, and Sherlock, because Mary loved Sherlock. She loved their relationship. It didn't feel, it didn't add additional conflict. I just don't think was needed into it. But yeah, second season, I would probably, if we go what was your favorite seasons? Yeah, 2's the best. No, 1 or 3. I'd probably go 1. I'd probably go 2, 1, 3, 4. What would you guys say?
Yeah, so I'll go with that.
It's better when we conform.
Yeah. Yes.
What I liked about the third season was the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that episode in the third season was like the benchmark, because that one was really good for that season.
Yeah.
The second season was obviously kind of the finale with Moriarty. And then the first season, I kind of liked all of the first ones. I liked the fact they almost didn't introduce Moriarty until the end of the first season.
Yeah, the origin story
because those first 2 episodes really stood by themselves. I mean, those were Sherlock stories.
Yeah. This is definitely my favorite depiction of Sherlock Holmes that we've seen on screen anywhere. I think this is better than the Robert Downey Jr. movies. I only saw one episode, I think, of that Elementary show that's on, I think, what is it, ABC or whatever, that plays, and Watson's a girl in that one. Lucy Liu. But this one is my absolute favorite of any incarnation. Obviously, this would be a good way to send off the show, and they had an ending that did kind of wrap things up in a way if they decided not to go forward. The producers have said, no, that's not for sure. They could do more. A lot of it comes down to scheduling, if they want to do it, if they've got a story that the writers are happy with. If they did decide to proceed forward with it, I'm not really familiar with the Sherlock lore mythology other than Moriarty's the bad guy who's just as smart as Sherlock. And really, that's about it. What would you guys like to see them do if they added more Sherlock episodes?
Go away from Moriarty a little bit.
They kind of
they drug him all the way. Yeah, they drug him all the way through season 4.
Yeah,
which I didn't mind at first,
because they didn't use him much
in 3. Like that first episode. What's it?
They didn't really use him in 3.
All in 3.
No, I guess they didn't. But in the 4th, it was just overkill.
Yeah.
Unless you were actually going to bring Moriarty back.
Right. Weren't you kind of hoping that they were going to? I was hoping that. I wanted him back.
At some point.
Yeah.
Bring back another dead character.
Well, here's the thing: they have to Sherlock. They hinted they were going to with Moriarty. I just like the character so much. I wanted him back. You know, it was a selfish reason, but I just wanted him back because I love him on that show. But what would you guys like to see if they do a season 5?
A Moriarty standalone story.
Well, they could always go back in time, like they did with this one too. Any other ideas?
There might be something to that, like a Moriarty kind of miniseries.
Yeah.
Kind of a different take on it. Maybe not involving Sherlock at all. It's kind of how he became who he was.
Yeah, the guy's international. You could just show him walking through the red light district in Amsterdam. You can see him.
Yeah, just owning it.
I think it'd be kind of cool to see some, because we've already gotten to see Watson and Sherlock's relationship be strained a couple times. I don't think we need to do that anymore. You know, that's already been done. We have Moriarty. He's gone. Hinted he is going to come back. No, he's really gone. That's probably going to be done with. They're probably not going to be lazy and do that again. It's like now that Mary's done with and Watson's comes to term with that, so we can't go more into the sadness and how he overcomes that curve or that story arc. What do we do left? I think it'd be cool to send him to America for a short-term reason that they have to go over there and see how he operates in the U.S. Like, use that intellectual with some of the arrogant, egotistical, go to New York and have some bums on the street that he has to deal with and use that over here. Just something different. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I don't have any other ideas.
Sherlock, New York. Gonna launch the franchise over here like CSI.
Well, let's not launch. No. One episode or one season tops. That's it. Then go back because I don't think the show would work as well with those characters over here too. Okay, cool.